I have been drawing ever since I could hold a pencil. I actually started drawing obviously in grade school, but my siblings showed me a couple of techniques. My older brother showed me how to do muscles and guns and things that boys usually draw. And then my sister showed me how to do proportions, and I just kept drawing people, and now people are one of my favorite things to draw. Hi, my name is Kristina Maldonado-Bad Hand. I am Chichangu, Lakota, and Cherokee, and I'm an artist, graphic designer, educator around Denver area. I work a lot with the Native community, and I also work as an OBH liaison with Jeffco Indian Education. I would say that my work is definitely inspired by my culture and my heritage. One of the things I do is ledger art, and that is a native form of art with ledger paper, and thankfully I got a whole bunch of 100-year-old paper, but because it's old, I like to actually scan it in and use it as a base, and then I draw my digital paintings over it. And so that's kind of just been a way that I like to create. I would say that my work is more like illustrative storytelling. I have a story going on in my brain anytime I'm drawing. So I think that played into me doing comic books as well, but also in the work I do with education is really kind of connecting to that inner story and what your personal story is. I do a lot of identity work in my education with cultural identity and heritage and things like that. For this project, the overall idea was to have a map of Denver that showed these places, kind of like a pop-up. We want people to basically write out their memories on a little piece of paper, and then they're actually going to be pinning it onto the wall. So it'll be kind of like an interactive mural where we're seeing everybody's memories together on the wall. The other part of this project was I did a bunch of stencils for students and kids to draw and create their own scenes. So it's kind of like a sequential scene. So we basically drew a back scene, a bunch of gestures, and some things like cake and horses and stuff that the kids can draw over. So that'll be a really fun story project for them to do. For a story of Denver, I wanted to include specific places and not the ones that you usually think of when you think of Denver, like the cash register building or Lucifer. I wanted to include parks and more personal places that you might have personal memories. Out of all the landmarks that I drew, I think most of my memories are around Washington Park. I used to go there with my college friends, and we'd play in the summer and do volleyball, barbecue, and things like that. So I think that's one of the main memories for me. The process for creating this piece was definitely more research as far as the buildings go. Especially for Denver, some of our buildings changed, like particularly the Invesco Field or Empower Field or all of the different names that it's had. So a lot of the research I was doing, I had to make sure I was using the right contemporary name. I basically do that research first, and then I start my sketches, and then I move on to my final drawings. I've been in the Denver creative scene for about 10 years now, and I think one of the good things about this COVID situation is actually the Zoom meetings and the opportunity to get perspectives and opinions that we haven't had the opportunity to have before. So over the summer, Denver Arts and Venues did a BIPOC, and that's Black, Indigenous, People of Color Artist Town Hall, and that conversation really turned out to be great. We talked a lot more about ways to make those opportunities more accessible, and it's exciting that that's a conversation that's out there now, and that Denver Arts and Venues is doing stuff and taking steps to make more opportunities available to BIPOC artists. So a piece of advice I would give to young aspiring artists is to keep your love, keep your passion, but also keep in mind that being an artist isn't always the most lucrative. It's going to be a lot of hard work. So not to step on anybody as you get there, to keep your network and your connection, because that's really what's going to help you create. I would say that with this project, I'm really hoping that people take away perspective. Because even when you're growing up, with your siblings, their perspective isn't going to be the same as yours. Their memories aren't going to be the same. And so with this piece, I'm really hoping that people get that connection, looking at that big map and seeing how many people have memories in those same places. Your memories aren't going to be the exact same. So thinking about that social awareness that everybody has a different perspective.